Woke up a little bit later this morning than I wanted to, but I did stay up a little later last night finishing editing the podcast. Luckily I have some coffee, which will almost be ready because I'm hearing the Song of My People go on right now, and I'm going to go do some pour over. So one good tip about doing pour over is that you want to wet the grounds just a little bit at first. Just pour over just a little bit of hot water just to get all those grounds nice and wet. It can drip out the bottom a little bit, that's okay. But then you kind of want the grounds to just sit there for a second and soak in that water and kind of become activated in a way, and then you get a much better brew, much smoother pour after you let them sit for a little bit. And for some that maybe ask you, Phil, why are you using a filter with your filter? Well, it's because I took a page from Exhibit. I like filters in my filters, yo. No, actually, it just makes for easier cleanup after I do the pour over, because it gets really annoying to wash out this filter and pour it into the tray. But anyway, now that we've had our coffee set for a little bit, get the water activating and soak in the grounds, it's now time to initiate our pour over process. So we just pour over, and it'll be a little slow, but it's well worth it, believe me. One thing I wasn't able to do last night before I went to sleep because it was just too late was actually master and render the latest podcast episode. So we have that going on right now, and I'm going to upload that this morning and send it out to Pastor Audie for final approval before we finally publish it later today. Finally making it to work, and then on the drive over, had a pretty good call with my sister. She needed to vent about a few things. There are a couple of family issues going on right now, and it really I like to help where I can, but it is really difficult in some circumstances, because I try and do my best to fix it if I can, and there are some times where I just can't, and I need to come to grips with the fact that is okay. You don't need to fix everything, even if you want to. You won't be able to. It's not physically possible. You need to make your peace with that. And it really helps put it into perspective that you don't really know what is going on in somebody else's life. I mean, if somebody cuts you off on the highway, is a jerk to you in real life, I'm starting to not get angry at those people anymore. I'm starting to feel sorry for them, because imagine like whatever happened in their life to make them act that way. I'm starting to take pity on them, and I'm finding that it's a little liberating for me personally, because I'm not holding on to that anxiety and that anger, which is just poison. And it just brings a different perspective on life when you're going through it with that mindset. So there's a little bit of morning wisdom for you. Ended up having a really good chat during lunch with an old friend, Baby Cow, talking about some potential videography or photography avenues that I can go down in potentially generating some content that my church can use for their website redesign, for their Facebook, YouTube pages, things like that. I just think that the current state that we're at my church requires a lot of foundation building on a digital asset ground, getting quality videos, quality photos that they can use for a lot of their different copy needs for their own brand. And I kept and I also got some really good ideas from Baby Cow about how. So I'm actually able to leave work a little early today. The sun is still shining, And I'm going to take advantage of this extra time to go home, decompress just a little bit, but then also write up a few blog posts, at least keep drafting some, before having to go to church to do a sound rehearsal, and gotta look forward to it. So it's my turn, I guess, to make dinner. So I'm cooking bacon. All of it. So I have the spinach and everything ready. Now it's time to add the egg. Yes. Now to cook it. His and hers omelets. Hers is prettier. Just like her. Made it over to church and going to start getting the sound booth ready for our rehearsal that we'll be having in a couple of minutes. So I'm here, got the equipment set up. I have the microphones, but we don't really have that many people here quite yet. I don't know why. It's 7:30. People are supposed to be here, but they're not. Where'd they go?
It's a different version of Take My Life and Let It Be.
It's been a pretty good day so far. I'm going to close it out by either reading some of a book that I'm going to be interviewing the author about later, or writing some blog posts. But it was a pretty good day all in all. But then my sister sent me a text, and it turned my good day into a great day. The thing that she sent me just kind of made my heart smile and made me very, very proud to call her my sister. And yeah, it was a good day. All that to say, this is where I'm going to sign off for the night, and until tomorrow.